Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Temtem. So Temtem was mentioned in this Games Radar article written by Austin Wood. And it is titled, Temtem CEO says the MMO's audience expects infinite content, even though it is not feasible to continue big updates at all. So the devs making a new game instead. So right below that is a little update. Crema assures fans it is still working on updates for Temtem in parallel with its new spinoff. So this is a really solid article that Austin Woods has written. This article would probably take about 15-20 minutes to read off, and I don't really want to put you guys to sleep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize what Austin has written. I will put that direct article link in the description down below, so if you guys want to read the whole thing for yourself and not hear the summarized version, I'll have that down in the description. But yeah, let's dive into this. So basically the summary or the article just talks about the CEO of Temtem started that it's not feasible to continually provide big updates to the MMO aspect due to the high cost in terms of time and money. This statement has caused division within the community, with some upset about the focus shifting to a new game rather than continuing to improve Temtem. The CEO clarified that Temtem's updates are still ongoing alongside the development of the new game Temtem Swarm, which is the new bullet hell, or correction, the bullet heaven. I'm still a little new to at least to that genre, to be honest. I'm more of a monster taming guy, so it's not in my forte, but you guys can correct me down below because I'm definitely new to that stuff. Let's see. He also, the CEO emphasized that Temtem should not be expected to provide infinite content like traditional MMOs, and described it as a complete game with around 100 hours of gameplay. Despite ongoing updates and improvements, some fans remain dissatisfied, feeling that Crema should prioritize enhancing Temtem rather than creating spin-offs. The CEO defended the decision, explaining that sustaining the Temtem franchise requires working on new projects. The announcement has sparked frustration among die-hard fans who expected more from the game, especially considering its MMO label. Crema acknowledges the dissatisfaction with emphasizing the limitations of providing endless free content for an online game. Overall, the situation highlights the clash between player expectation and the practicalities of game development and sustainability. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a screenshot here on one of the points here. The point is the community expects to add infinite content, which is costly in terms of time and money. And just because it carries the MMO label, but MMOs doesn't mean infinite, he writes. It compares to other MMOs, even though Crema has clarified since 2018 that it wouldn't be like those MMOs. So first off, the very first time I got introduced to this game and they stated it was an MMO, I had the expectations that there was going to be MMO features. I'm not going to say, oh, this is supposed to be like a one-for-one like WoW, but I'm going to like be real talk here. This game slightly scratches that MMO. Like it's almost to the territory where you're claiming that Pokemon's an MMO because it's got an online feature. Like Temtem's like thing is it. Honestly, it's more of a co-op, like Monster Hunter Stories 2, like that is not an MMO. They don't label it as an MMO. That has more MMO features than Temtem. It's just, I don't know. I think, like personally, I think they use the MMO label to get a bunch of money and boost up the marketing for the Kickstarter. At the time when this Kickstarter kicked on, MMOs were getting tons of money, and I'm not surprised they went that way. But labeling the game an MMO, I still, a lot of people might disagree with me. I don't believe it, like, it deserves that tag. So I'm not surprised that the CEO and Crema is getting a lot of hate for it, because they didn't really fulfill the MMO aspect of the game. And then I'm going to bring up another screenshot where they're basically talking about DLCs adding 20% more for free. I'm going to be honest, at this point, I don't think anybody would buy a DLC for this game. But if they would have offered DLC before, you know, the hype train of all this negativity, I could see people buying it and keeping the game alive. Because I understand servers and maintaining online costs, it does cost money. But with this being mostly a single player game, I'm surprised there's not an offline mode. But like, they got to do something about, you know, adding something to maintain, you know, like the community. Because at this point, the majority of the community is already checked out, they're upset, and they're just lashing out. And it just seems like every time something new pops up with Temtem, it's negative. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of part of that crowd. In my last video, I do have some harsh criticisms, but honestly, Temtem Swarm, if they do this correctly, I don't think they should have made it as a separate game. Like, they still, if Temtem is still promising that they're still doing updates, they still have the arcade bar that they still need to finish. Why don't they add Temtem Swarm to the arcade bar? And if they're worried about, oh, this is extra money that we have to dump into developing it, why don't you make the arcade bar a paid place to go to? Like, don't make it high cost, but like, make it cost some coins. Like, you know, the good old coin operated arcade machines that you used to play in the past, at least in my day. I mean, it might kind of show how old I am here, but you know, doing simple arcades and putting coins in, or honestly, this would be kind of the master move here is create an in-game item called the console, and then you can buy the console, and then you can buy the games to go inside the console to play it. And the best part is, you're still getting paid. This isn't PvP content, because let's be honest, a lot of people want PvE content. This is perfect example of PvE content. And on top of that, this would give more engagement to the community, because the community wants PvE content, not PvP. And the more stuff, and that's the thing, you can literally advertise it as, look, we've added stuff. This is more features. You can almost use the MMO label. You can co-play some of these games. There's so many options, and you don't have to make these arcade games so complicated. You can make it like Galaga, you can make it like Dig Dug, or you can make it a side-scrolling, you know, Flappy Bird clone. Like, let's be honest, Coromon has that in their arcade. Like, they have the Swarmy Rush. Like, it's you know, it doesn't take long to make a little arcade game like that with the resources they have. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video here, but yeah, just my overall thing is, it is good to see that the Temtem CEO is responding. It's just, in the overall picture, it still is not answering what the community wants. The community does not want a spin-off game, and if they're so dead press on making money, or money is an issue at this point, turn off the online only feature on Temtem and just make Temtem 2. Just end it. Like, just kill it. Like, it makes no sense to be making these little spin-off games. Like, if you're not going to add DLC and make this an actual MMO, just kill the online feature, save yourself the server money, and just put all your efforts into making Temtem 2. Like, I don't think it's that difficult to come up with a game plan like that, but unfortunately, Crema, you know, is very anti-feedback when it comes to the community, which you guys can, if you go to their Twitters and everywhere, you can see it. I mean, there is some positive support as well, but in the overall picture, Crema doesn't really listen to their community. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm just kind of ranting here at this point. Overall, a lot of people are still upset. There's still a few people that are a little bit excited about this new game. For me, big picture, I think KDLC is the way to go, unless they decide just to turn this game like completely offline and do that single player update patch and just give it to us and make Temtem 2. I just don't see this game coming back, or even future titles coming, if they don't, you know, nip this in the butt. But yeah, let me know down below how you guys feel about this. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.